Hey, what's up guys, this is Liam or Weagle on your Overwatch, back with a new video. Today, we're going to be talking about Doomfist.
Y'all know what's going on.
Now, don't get too overhyped and don't get too underhyped. We're going to talk about some of these abilities that have been leaked today, which are very interesting. But also, if you're one of the people that's sick of the hype, we've got something for you too, because some of this stuff doesn't add up. So what has happened is, the Overwatch channels on YouTube have had their playlists updated. Now, our friend Force did a video on this about when this happens, usually means there's going to be a new hero or a new cinematic. Now, it's Mei, and a lot of people are saying that Mei is going to get her own cinematic, which is interesting because this was leaked in a post by a guy that said Orisa would be a thing, originally under the codename Ancora, and that also the Chinese New Year event would be a thing. So you would think that maybe this is going to happen. The cinematic might be right around the corner. Well, another post has resurfaced because of all this hype, which brings out Doomfist's abilities, talks about what they're supposed to be, and a lot of people are saying that this post was made by the same guy that got all of the other stuff right. The guy that supposedly is going to be right about the Mei cinematic sometime this month, and also is apparently going to be right about these Doomfist abilities. Now, there's a few issues with this. One of them being that Jeff Kaplan said that most of the hype around Doomfist is actually been due to the community and not them. Originally, he was only in the cinematic when the game came out, and then until the Numbani thing where one of the robots had been Doomfisted into the wall, we'd all done the hype ourselves. Well, he said that they've got plans for him, but he's not out yet. Now, there was also a leak about Terry Crews, who was apparently making a big announcement at E3 and everyone thought it was going to be Doomfist, and so did we. Well, it turned out that Blizzard don't go to E3. So that should be a separate announcement. They've announced that they're not doing anything at E3, and they don't usually anyway. So we should probably write that off as Terry Crews actually isn't talking about Blizzard stuff at E3. However, this again post that is apparently talking about the abilities and stuff by the guy that has been accurate on all of his other leaks says that it is voiced by Terry Crews. So there's a lot of conflicting stuff here, and Jeff says that he's going to be down the line, Doomfist, and that it won't be as quick as the community wants it to be. Now, we're very impatient, right? We're all hyping this stuff up, and I know that we're responsible for some of the hype, and we've always tried to be accurate, which is why I'm making this video saying that some of this stuff doesn't add up. Now, we're going to go through the abilities because some of them are cool. I gotta say that it sounds cool, but I'm not gonna say that this is definitely a thing, because it is an old post, and you need to remember that this post is months old and it's resurfaced because of all the current stuff that's going on. So this isn't new, and I'm gonna read it to you now. I'm going to leak something about Doomfist. He's a combination of Tracer and Rhine. He has charges and can do a pinning / charge move. Now, I've read through this post already, and what this basically means is that it's kind of like Tracer's blinks, but he like jumps quickly in one direction. Kind of like Genji's Swift Strike, but slightly slower as far as I can tell. So he can do this in any direction, and by the sounds of it, he can kind of pin people and do damage to them. It's a little bit weird. Now, his ultimate is apparently a nosedive towards the ground, which also, of course, is similar to Genji, how he can Swift Strike up, get his ult out, and then go back down to the ground. Now, this sounds cool, right? If you were just Doomfisting up to the sky, and then you just look down and you see a target, then apparently, when you do this, you will actually be able to instantly kill anyone that you hit. I would assume if this was real that it would only be one target you could instantly kill, because if everyone was in a grab, you'd instantly kill everybody, and that sounds a little bit too OP to me. Now, his ability can be used at all times, has 3 charges, and can get around the map and move while he does it and all that cool stuff. Now, apparently when he has lower HP, he does more damage, which is similar to an ability called Berserk, which is in other games that we have spoke about before, and when we speculated months ago about Doomfist, this was one of the ones that we had mentioned. So the lower HP he has, the more damage he does. Apparently the main focus of this hero is the charge, and what I do struggle to understand here is this the same charge thing as before? Apparently you can hold all of the charges down at once and use them all, or you could jump to one direction and then jump in another direction, and it will simply do less damage. Now, how it confirms that it does more damage, I don't know, and also, there's not really anything in here about his primary kind of fire, which I assume would be simple melee damage. There's none of that in here. Now, as you'll notice if you do read through this, what's in here is he's a melee hero, so his primary fire is just simply going to be melee. Maybe it will do slightly more damage than normal melee of another hero. He has a charge ability that seems to have multiple charges to it. You can do it a few times, or you can charge it up and do it in one go. And he has a passive, which I would assume would be he does more damage on low health. There's not actually anything in here about another ability, and every hero I think in the game generally will have 2 abilities at least, and this guy at the minute only seems to have the charge thing. So if this was true, it wouldn't be all of it, I would assume, because there's not enough to it unless it's an entirely new concept of a hero, which I'm definitely down and I'm definitely cool with. I'm just not really sure how much that holds up. So I think this sounds really, really good if it was real. However, I'm not convinced that it is. Now, I would love it to be, and I'm not going to write it off, and I'm not going to say it's legit either. We always like to have a dead set decision on this channel and then try and be right and know what we're talking about. But with this one, guys, we're not sure. You're going to have to let us know in the comments what you guys think, because there's so much back and forth on this that it's just impossible for us to decide. But there's definitely some conflicting stuff. Me and Eddie did a few videos on this a month or 2 ago where we spoke about all the different things about Doomfist, the things that are legit, the things that aren't. And this post surfaced around the time and we didn't cover it because we weren't sure about it. And we're still on that same thing now. But the fact that everyone's saying that this is it, this is definitely happening, I think that we definitely need to think about it, and it would be cool, but don't be too disappointed if it's not legit. I want Doomfist. I want it to be voiced by Terry Crews. I want him to have similar to these abilities because they sound really cool, where you're just like a good damage dealer. We haven't had a damage dealer come out that I'm like, yes, this is awesome. Sombra's kind of like a hybrid. We got Orisa who's like a hybrid. Anna was a healer. It'd be good to have a new damage dealer in the game, in my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think to that. So the things we know, guys, sounds cool. A few conflicting things. This is before E3, so if it comes out for the 1-year anniversary, which is apparently what's happening, then the Terry Crews thing's definitely separate. Doesn't mean he can't voice him though. And Jeff did say it's going to be a while, and this is only 3 weeks away. The final point is they would be testing him on the PTR for 2 or 3 weeks. So if it's legit coming out for the 1-year anniversary, probably hope to see this coming along pretty soon, guys. Let us know what you think in the comment section down below. If we missed anything, also let us know. Be sure to check out our Twitter where you guys can get new updates on things we're doing. You can also check out our Discord where you guys can find the Doomfist main of your dreams to group up with. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.